Sonny boy.
Hey, I'm Mike Logan.
Hey, I'm Gerrit Elzinga.
And this better be good. Hey, it's you know what it is. It's the weekly podcast where Gerrit and I review a movie before seeing it and review it again after seeing it.
I love every time you say that, you say, like you've never said it before.
It's because I always think about saying something different and then I never do.
Well, you should, think about
say something different.
Well, it's like every time I say, you know what it is, I always think about, you ever watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yes.
You know the day man, the night man cometh?
Day man!
When, that sounded really good.
That was awful.
When Dennis pulls that gun out and he's just like, yeah, you know what it is, bitch. That's what I always think of. But yeah, this week we're seeing Creed 2. You know?
Creed 2.
You know, it's a movie starring Michael B. Jordan. Everyone loves him. He's a heartthrob. It's like borderline Bill Murray and Caddyshack.
Yeah.
So get that going for
So
you.
you know, hey Lamba, you know, a little something for the effort. Yeah, it stars Michael B. Jordan, Tessa Thompson, and
Tessa Marie Thompson, right?
Does she go by Tessa Marie Thompson?
I think she does. No, she doesn't. I'm thinking of someone else.
Yeah, no, Tessa Thompson. And Sylvester Stallone, Sly, the old former porn star.
The Italian Stallion.
Hey, they call me the Italian Stallion, you know, it's like, they call me that because, you know, I'm Italian and I got a horse cock.
Wow. Wow. All right.
So yeah, this is the sequel to Creed, which is a spin-off / sequel to the Rocky series. How about a little synopsis, huh? Under the tutelage of Rocky Balboa, heavyweight contender Adonis Creed faces off against Victor Drago, son of Ivan Drago.
I love that his name's Adonis. Jesus Christ.
Well, think about Apollo was his father.
I know.
And his father was super arrogant.
Yeah.
So he would name his kid Adonis.
That's hilarious.
For anybody who hasn't seen Creed, it's the character Adonis Creed is a lot different than Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed was this brash, cocky, really, really arrogant boxer, and Adonis Creed essentially was trying to get out of his father's huge shadow. In the world of this movie's America, Apollo Creed was one of the biggest stars when he was alive.
It would be like if Muhammad Ali got knocked out in the ring.
Yeah, and then his son became a boxer. Like, it'd be the exact equivalent of that. So he struggles in the first movie with, like, you know, trying to create his own name and get his own place, while also he's, you know, balancing his love life with his personal life and becoming a boxer.
So why would he want to get into boxing if he was trying to get out of his dad's shadow?
Well, it's all he's good at, man. He's got those two fists and
Jesus
that
Christ.
sweet, sweet hairline.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, the second one, it's kind of taking a lot of. I'm imagining it's gonna have a lot of parallels to Rocky IV, where Rocky fights Ivan Drago, played by Dolph Lundgren.
Who plays his son in this one?
So
now, did Drago die? Because so a little clarification. I know I'll get shit for this from all four of you listening. I've only watched one Rocky movie. I know most of the story, but I've only seen Rocky Balboa. That's the only one.
That's the one you've seen. That one isn't bad, but like
it's not bad.
It's not the best of the series.
Yeah.
The Dolph Lundgren, or Ivan Drago's son, is played by Florian Munteanu.
Oh, it looks like Dolph Lundgren is in this movie.
He is, yeah.
I didn't know
He's
that.
his trainer.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So the idea is like Rocky and Ivan Drago are like battling through their pupils.
God, I really hope that's the end of the movie. It's like Rocky
old men fighting.
and Ivan verse. That would be great.
But Florian Munteanu is this is his first film role. He is a boxer who they cast in this film to play a boxer.
That's an awful sign, but all right.
So yeah, so it's either going to be either they've discovered somebody, or it's going to be he's going to suck because he's a boxer and not an actor. But I mean, I'm sure he'll look good boxing. Fun, interesting fact: if you guys maybe I'll put the video up. There's a video online of Michael B. Jordan actually getting knocked out in the first movie.
Wow.
Because there's a scene, it's brutal. Like there's a scene where they're boxing and stuff, and then Michael B. Jordan just gets legitimately punched in the face. Like it's literally like action, bam, knocks him out. Like
wow.
It's brutal. I'll look it up right now.
Oh, please show me.
But I just went to go type in Michael B. Jordan in here. I put MICHAELBEE Jordan.
Wow, it's a little reference to Wreck-It Ralph from last week. Ralph
oh yeah, that was great. There it is.
All right. Did blood fly out of his mouth?
Yeah, he legit got knocked out. He was on, I think...
He turned right into it.
He was on, I think it was Graham Norton he was on, and he was talking about that knockout, and he said that he wasn't knocked unconscious, but like he had like a mild concussion, and then like he said he felt it for like weeks afterward. Wow. But he said his biggest concern when he hit the mat was that the director thought he actually was knocked out and was going to yell cut. Because like he didn't want them to not use that take.
Okay.
And then apparently they had to do another take after that. Because I guess something wasn't set up or something. So like he had to like get back up and do another take.
Oh no.
But yeah, he actually gained more weight, or he cut more weight for this movie than he did for the first one. So the first one he put on like 25 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
And he looks fantastic. And then he had to bulk up to play Killmonger.
Yeah.
So then after he got done playing Killmonger, he had to shred all of that and then turn it into like just cut muscle for this movie.
Wow.
So it's kind of like the idea of like, Christian Bale went from like The Machinist to like Batman Begins.
Yeah.
It's like, he went from being real thin to then being really bulky. So I feel like it's got to be very difficult because the boxer's body, like a heavyweight boxer's body, isn't like a welterweight boxer's body. Like a heavyweight boxer's body is thick. Like it's very like,
yeah.
They're very big, but it's like all like just, mounds of skin.
Yeah.
Whereas like a welterweight is like cut. So it's like veinous and like you could see like the striations in the muscles. So he had to go from being a regular heavyweight boxer to then being just, he had, I think, 10 more pounds for Killmonger because he needed to be just intimidatingly large. And then he had to cut weight and shred, he had to cut weight and define the muscle that he was cut.
Wow.
It just seems like, he said, essentially he's on like one of these diets where like he can't eat anything but like fish and chicken. And it's like he hates himself for not being able to eat the whole time. But then you look like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that goes into like how we view image thing, where it's just like, this person's miserable, but they look great.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
It's like when a woman's like wearing like really uncomfortable heels. It's like, do your feet hurt? Yeah, but they look great, right?
Yeah, but my butt's good.
Look how tight my glutes are now.
I know someone has had a joke about this, but it's like you'll see women wearing just skirts or whatever in the winter, and then it's like, just wear jeans. Guys are still gonna fuck you. Like, what are you doing? Who is this for? But yeah, I mean, I don't judge. Just kidding. That's all I do.
Yeah, we're good on the judging thing. But yeah, so I mean, it's just it's obvious dedication. Michael B. Jordan is poised to be one of our.
I mean, perfect example. She's wearing tights, flats, nice pink jacket, very attractive.
Yeah.
Good for her. She's comfy.
Yeah.
Why would you have to? I don't know.
Well, some people like to do that.
Yeah, they do. Meanwhile, this guy just pick apart literally everybody walking by.
So, are you a fan of Tessa Thompson?
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah,
I would rather have her play Captain Marvel than Brie Larson, to be honest with you.
We'll get into that.
Oh, I can't wait to get into this.
Yeah, I love Tessa Thompson. I thought she was great in the first Creed, which you haven't seen, but she's fantastic in that. She's great in Thor Ragnarok.
She was great in Westworld as well.
Oh yeah,
she's great in everything.
She was real nice in Westworld. But no, that's
oh boy, not wearing heels in that.
Not for some scenes. Fucking a lot of people in that movie or that show. Like, I think she fucked the most people on that show.
I can only think of one right now offhand.
The guy in all black.
Oh yeah, she did fuck that guy. That robot.
Yeah,
she fucked that robot.
She fucked robots in that show. No, I think she's fantastic. I think that this movie is like the idea that like Michael B. Jordan is obviously Hollywood's next big crush. Like he's getting a big push right now.
But like it's merited.
Yeah, he's
like,
very good. He deserves
great.
it. He's been good for a long time though. Is the thing. Like from
yeah.
Fruitvale Station all the way up until Black Panther. Like he's consistently been the best thing on
Yep.
screen when he's in a movie.
Yep.
And I think that Tessa Thompson is poised to like get that kind of same push.
She should. She's
Like,
great.
yeah,
Oh
she's-
yeah. Sorry to bother you. She's also in that.
Yeah, but she's great. She's fantastic. I love her and everything she does. She can do no wrong. She can fuck as many robots as she wants. Sly doing some of his best work, I think, in the latter stage of his career. He was
Yeah.
great in Creed. He was great in Rocky Balboa. He's doing another Rambo movie.
Yeah, they just wrapped it.
Yeah.
Rambo 5.
And I'm sure it's weird. He's one of these actors who, like, I can't think of a ton of actors who just keep getting better, and not in like a Goldblum, Christopher Walken, where it's like they're just entertaining because it's them kind of way. Like, he's legitimately becoming a better actor, like the older he gets.
Well, if you listen to, which I'm a big nerd, so I listened to the commentary on the first Rambo movie, First Blood, and he is a genius, basically. He's like explaining things on the whole thing. And like he's like,
Yeah, so this scene we didn't have.
like he sounds like an idiot, but he's very smart. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, we wanted to create the tension, so we didn't have any music in this scene.
I'm like, wow, he's smart. Look
Yeah,
at that. Like
he is-
he is what Edward Norton wants to be when it comes to having creative control over projects. Mm-hmm. Because when Edward Norton does it, the whole film becomes just a mess.
Yeah.
Like it's everyone hates everything, and it becomes like a chore and torture for him to have any input in it. But then when Sylvester Stallone does it, he's like,
Hey, we're just having a good time. I'll maybe pull my wang out.
no, just put that away.
All right, maybe in the next movie.
You were the coming to Italian. We know.
yours is way better than mine, by the way. I want to throw that out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know who else is a certified genius? Dolph Lundgren.
Guaranteed.
No, he literally has a genius level IQ.
I believe
like
it.
I want to say he went to MIT and he has like a degree in like astrophysics or something like that.
Wow.
I'll look it up. But yeah.
I unplugged a toilet at work yesterday and thought maybe I should have been a plumber. I swear to God.
You're living your best life right now.
Well, someone went in there and then like overflowed the toilet, and then someone flushed it. Like I cleaned up all that mess, and then someone flushed it again, and then overflowed it more. And I'm like, are you guys fucking stupid?
Are you guys shitting?
Are you
into
guys-
the back? Are you upper decking this?
Upper
thing?
deckering this toilet?
So I go to Google Dolph Lundgren. The first thing comes, Dolph Lundgren is happy he has better lines in Creed 2.
Nice.
His lines in Rocky 4, literally 2 of them.
I will break you.
Oh no, he says you will lose to Apollo.
Yeah.
And then he says, he just said, I'll break you. So there's 3 lines. I'll break you to Rocky.
Yeah.
And then he also says,
Good job when he gets beat.
They said Apollo, he's on the verge of death. What happens, if Apollo Creed dies? And then he just says like, if he dies, so be it. It's like those are all of his lines.
Those are pretty great lines.
And then it's funny because I'm telling you right now about how he's like a bona fide genius.
Yeah.
But then like he had like 4 lines in the first movie he was
3.
in. 3 lines in the first movie he was in. He's been in 40 films. Did you know that? Let's see
3
here.
of them are Expendables movies. All right, let's get back on track. What
Okay,
are you looking up that MIT thing?
Yeah. Might have to cut out all this shit.
Yep, that's why I'm trying to get less dead air. All right, here we are.
Poopity scoop.
Hey guys.
Okay, so he went to the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm, Sweden, and he has some sort of degree somewhere.
Jesus Christ, this is so uninteresting.
Here we go. Chemical engineering.
Wow, so it's way off of what you said.
It's the Swedish equivalent to MIT.
Oh, okay.
Dolph Lundgren's a genius, guys.
His IQ is 86. He's a genius.
Sometimes I don't even highlight the IQ, because I want the audience to kind of gather their own conclusions about how smart somebody is,
Wow, Sly.
Wow.
It's so unfortunate for people like him because he had a stroke. That's why he sounds like that. But
He did not have a stroke.
Yes, he did.
When?
When he was young. I think it was his early 20s or something like that. That's why he has the slur and his lip is
Good.
falling down there.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, but it sucks because you think that he's stupid because of the way he sounds. It's like anybody with a southern accent.
Oh yeah. Well, Mark Ruffalo had a stroke as well.
He doesn't sound as dumb as Sly though.
No, he doesn't. Tony? He just sounds like that.
Thanos. He's coming.
Thanos is coming.
I love a small detail of that movie is the second that Robert Downey Jr. hears that Thanos is coming, he starts stretching.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Bud?
He's ready for a fight. He's like, oh, all right, Thanos is coming. Starts stretching out.
So funny.
But yeah,
back on track.
I think this movie's going to be really good. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Let's dip into some movie news real quick.
Yeah, movie news before we go in and see this movie.
So tomorrow is the big trailer. Tomorrow is
Avengers.
the Avengers trailer.
Apparently, that's what everyone's saying.
Well, they pushed it back like 2 weeks now. But we're going to hear the title of the movie officially, although I think the rumor is that it's called...
Annihilation?
Yeah, Avengers Annihilation. But the trailer drops tomorrow. But today we got the Captain Marvel trailer. So by the time you hear this podcast, we will have already seen the Avengers trailer, and we'll talk about it next week.
Okay, so we're recording this on a Tuesday. By the time you guys hear this will be Wednesday. So this will be current.
It'll be Thursday.
Right? Thursday. Okay,
Yeah.
So this is a day past. So all of you have seen it anyway.
Yeah. So we'll put it on the page probably.
Talking about Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel's
now.
trailer came out this morning. The second trailer came out this morning, and Gerrit, you're still on the fence about this one.
Oh, it came out last night. Monday night.
I thought it was Tuesday
watched
morning.
No, I watched it like 11 at night.
Oh, well.
I watched it last night. Anyway, who cares?
Yeah.
My first impressions, not a fan. I've watched it 1.5 times. I couldn't get through it the second time.
Yeah, the first trailer I was like, it's the first trailer.
Yeah.
I'll wait to the second trailer. Now the second trailer's come out, and I'm just like, I don't know if this is going to be that good of a movie.
Well, it seemed like the first trailer kind of highlighted the direction of it, like that one long shot that it starts with, and she blasts into a blockbuster, and you're like, oh, 90s. This is an interesting shot, cool. And then like other cool shots or whatever. And then this one is more like dialogue-driven, character study, lines, stuff like that.
Yeah, you get a good look at Sam Jackson de-aged.
You get a good look at the backstory of what the movie's going to be.
Yeah,
with,
it's very much about she.
Annette Bening, is that who that is?
It looked like her.
The worst line, it has to be like the first takes of everything, because every person in this trailer, the dialogue is just garbage. And all of what and how they're saying it is awful.
Yeah, Brie Larson's not really impressing me right now in these trailers.
No.
Which is weird. I always forget what she's been in.
Room.
Haven't seen Room. She won an Oscar for that, right?
Kong Skull Island.
Oh, she was the main character? Skull Island. Okay, yeah.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, yeah, she was Envy Adams. Oh, she was great in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
I loved her in Scott Pilgrim. I loved her in Kong, too. Yeah, okay, I don't understand why she's not doing well in these trailers.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. These trailers...
she was in 21 Jump Street as well. She's the love interest in that. Oh. That's the first place that I saw her.
That scene when she sings that song in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, hilarious.
Fantastic.
I don't know why this isn't good.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm willing to say it is the directors.
Who's directing this?
It's a duo. It's a combo. It's a guy and a girl. They direct movies together.
Are they called the Inverse Russos?
No, but they're from their filmography, it's not good. I don't know why they're doing this. Like, they're all like fine movies. They're whatever.
Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck.
Yeah,
they wrote it.
Yeah, pull them up. Pull them up real quick. Let's get their filmography. Sorry, everybody.
I gotta pull them up separately.
It's gonna be the same movies for each one. So what do we got?
So the directors have directed 11 films, including...
Scroll all the way down to the bottom and then scroll up.
Okay, fine. A short film called Have You Seen This Man? A movie called Young Rebels. A movie called Sugar. It's kind of a funny story.
I didn't see it.
Big C, TV series. Mississippi Grind. Never saw that.
I didn't see it.
Room 104, another TV series, and some episodes of Billions.
Wow. So really qualified.
That is weird.
For this movie.
It's weird that they would give them the reins to such a huge, important
franchise. And to write it. Like,
well,
I think what it is they did it with Ant-Man, which who directed that? Peyton Reed, right?
Yeah.
What else had he done?
Peyton Reed?
So I think that's what they're doing. They always do this thing. Marvel always does this thing where they'll give the reins of a production to someone who's very inexperienced, it seems. And then they'll let them do what they want to with it, kind of. Like, it has to still fall under the umbrella of Marvel, and, like, we have final say.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, from the trailers, it seems like a dispute kind of thing between...
Peyton Reed did Yes Man, The Breakup, a bunch of TV.
Oh, he's fine then.
Bring It On, Grosse Point. I don't know what Grosse Point is.
These are fine.
Some episodes of Upright Citizens Brigade, Mr. Show, Weird Al Show. He's got a great record.
Yeah, this guy is Never mind what I said. But there's another example of someone, I can't remember who it is, but I can't remember, but that... Anyway, I'm not worried because I don't have
high expectations for it.
stock in the thing. I'm just like, whatever, it'll be fine. But it could be worse than Incredible Hulk.
So
it
to
looks
me,
awful.
To me, it just seems like the trailers they make the movie look fine. I'm gonna see it. Obviously, we'll probably do it on the podcast. But like, I'm not going into this movie excited.
Well, a lot of people on Reddit are saying Green Lantern. It seems like Green Lantern.
Well, there's a lot of like, yeah.
From the trailer, that's exactly what it looks like.
A fighter pilot gets taken by aliens, turned into a super weapon
Yep.
with a glowy suit that's CGI, and then holy shit, it's Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Oh man, get a jump off this ship, Brie Larson.
It does not look good. And my thing is like, it's gonna be real weird if this movie tanks and it is shit. Not tanks because it's still gonna make its
not
money.
gonna tank, yeah, it's gonna
but
make
it
money.
looks like shit. And then to have her be like the main thing in Avengers,
Which she's gonna
4?
be, yeah.
It's like,
Well, to me, it's weird. It is a weird thing for me. The weird thing for me is that this movie is very important for Marvel because it's their first female-led film.
Yeah.
Especially after the success of Wonder Woman, they've got a lot of expectation going into
I think
this.
Wonder Woman is going to go down in history as better than this movie.
I just think it's weird. What I'm saying is I think it's weird that they would trust this important of a thing. And then you've got a character who's now going to be central to Phase 3 of the MCU.
Yeah.
To trust it to two unknown directors.
Yep.
Like, it's really weird that they would do that. Like, you would think they'd give it to somebody. Granted, Marvel has made stars out of directors.
For
like,
sure.
They have made the Russos into a household name.
But they also did other stuff before it. They had Arrested Development.
They did Arrested Development, but I mean, they weren't household names before that.
No,
I mean,
they didn't have to be.
They have so much sway over the industry now. I mean, like they're making stars out of directors, but this seems like one of those times when you need to play it safe. Like, don't try your new stuff. Go with the hits. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you need to make this movie has to be good. It's very important for it to be good. And I'm not saying it's gonna be terrible. We don't know. Like, it might be fine. It might come out and blow us away. Who knows? But from the trailers, it's not looking like that's gonna happen.
No, and Jude Law's in it too. And
I love Jude Law though.
He's great. She's like bleeding blue blood or whatever, and you're like, how many scenes do we need in the trailer of her bleeding green blue blood?
I do like her
There's like
socking that old
7
lady in the face. That is pretty nice.
Oh, that's funny because that's still causing people to be upset. Apparently,
I love that they put it at the beginning of this trailer.
Yeah,
because like people were pissed about it in the first trailer. They're like, oh, we're gonna double down on that, guys.
Like all her. Oh, you know what? Why don't we put the Captain Marvel trailer in right now? We'll put that trailer in.
Okay.
We'll have a big long block right now, everybody. We're gonna set it up, okay? We're gonna have a couple of other podcasts that we are affiliating ourselves with, okay? We have another episode podcast from Matt Harper and Mandy Elaine. We'll put that first, and then we'll have the Dan Curry ran podcast, Game Goose, the Game Goose podcast. So that'll be an advertisement for you guys. Right after that, we'll have the Captain Marvel trailer that we're talking about, and then we will have the trailer for Creed 2. So you guys
got 20 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see it. We'll see it. It'll be fun. So you guys will enjoy it. It'll be fun. I love you all.
Before we do that, though, let's give this old Creed 2 the old arbitrary rating.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to do that. Okay, sorry. Okay, arbitrary rating. Let's see here. I'm going to give it, I think it'll be great. I don't think I'll be lost at all. So I'm just going to give it an 8. I'm going to go 8. 8 action knockouts.
I think I'm going to temper my expectations for this one. The first one was really, really good. Really good. And I think this one will be fine. I think we might run into the whole idea of, like, this movie, for me, might be a carbon copy of Rocky IV, which I'm not super thrilled
You'll have
about.
to let me know if it is. See, that's the thing. I haven't seen Rocky IV.
Yeah, I will. So, I mean, I think that this is going to be an interesting episode because we're both going into this with two completely different perspectives.
That's why I didn't watch any of them. So, yeah.
Well, good job.
Yeah. I wanted to kind of...
So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 7.5. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I am the last.
Boy! All right.
Out of 10.
It's funny how it doesn't seem loud to you guys, but it is to me.
It's very echoey in here.
Yeah,
cavernous. So yeah, listen to all the crap that we're gonna let you listen to, and then we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
It's not crap. It's
all the
passion
stuff.
projects.
All the things that we're helping with people.
Okay, poopies. Enjoy.
Okay. All right.
Another Episode podcast. Join hosts Matt Harper and Mandy Elaine with their new podcast each week as they dive into the movies that shaped their childhood. In a world with too many podcasts, Another Episode beats the odds and stands alone atop the list of great podcasts to discuss movies like Groundhog Day, The Breakfast Club, Stand By Me, and many more. Listen to Another Episode podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or Podbean. Don't forget to rate and subscribe. Another Episode podcast.
Hey movie lovers, I'm Dan Curry from Game Goose. Do you enjoy listening to sincere reviews of video games? If so, give Game Goose podcast a shot. My pals, Clinton and Neil, join me in analyzing and dissecting the weekly developments of the video game world. We'll make sure you're up to date on everything video game related, talk about the history of video games, and take a dive into a unique topic every week, such as who are the best video game bosses, or what exactly is video game speedrunning. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
So, Skrulls are the bad guys. And you're a Kree, a race of noble warriors.
Heroes. Noble warrior heroes.
Your life began the day it nearly ended. We found you with no memory. We made you one of us. So you could live longer, stronger, superior. You were reborn.
I keep having these memories. Something in my past is the key to all of this.
You know how to fly this thing?
We'll see.
That's a yes or no question.
Yes.
Would you like to know what you really are?
I think I had a life here. What aren't you telling me?
You've come a long way, but you're not as strong as you think. This war is just the beginning.
I'm not gonna fight your war. I'm gonna end it.
Aren't you the cutest little thing? Aren't you cute? And what's your name, huh?
Gerrit.
What's you? I'll be back.
If we don't do what we love, then we wouldn't exist.
It's time, kid.
It's like nothing really matters to him right now, including me.
You gotta think real hard about this. You got people that need you now.
I'm taking the fight.
Victor Drago, son of Ivan Drago, who infamously killed Apollo Creed, appeared today to issue a challenge to Adonis Creed.
Don't do this.
I ain't got a choice.
That's the same thing your father said, and he died right here in my hands. That kid was raised in hate. It's dangerous. He broke things in me that ain't never been fixed. It ain't worth it.
It's not just us anymore, D.
I want to rewrite history.
If you want to fight this man, that's your business. But don't pretend this is about your father.
This here is all about my wife, my kids, the life that I live. Through the night, I was his. It was right what I did. My ups and downs, my slips, my falls, my trials and tribulations, my heart, my balls.
This won't be the end of me. Or you. It can't be, because we're a team.
Now you know what you're fighting for.
Round after round. You learn more about yourself. And when I stepped in that ring, it wasn't all about me.
Hey, welcome back to the show. You just listened to
Many things.
A trailer, some ads for our friends' podcast and stuff like that. And we just saw Creed 2.
It was great.
Yeah, it was really good.
Spoiler warning.
It
was great.
I will start us off by saying that Michael B. Jordan is a great big hunk of man meat.
He is so great. I have a crush on him now.
Yeah, definitely man crushing on Michael B. Jordan right now. He is just a fantastic, charismatic, good-looking, boxing, bulky, sulky, brooding kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like all of those adjectives.
Real brooding. Oh, man.
Yeah, so yeah, the movie was good. It had a lot of... it had some issues for me in the first 2 acts, which we'll get into in the spoiler section. That third act, though, oof. That's a doozy, man. They punch you with all the emotions right in the old face. And the ribs. And a lot of ribs.
I was so on the edge of my seat the whole movie. This was it reminded me as to why I don't like sports movies, because I don't like sports. But the only movies that I like are boxing. Well, I only like boxing movie. And notice golfing as well. Every time that's in a movie, it's either boring or hilarious.
I think the reasoning behind that is because like golf, especially boxing. Golf and boxing are very individualistic sports.
Yes.
And so like you have time to invest in one character as opposed to like an entire team. And then also it's pretty straightforward boxing. Like someone punches somebody else, and if the person goes down on the ground, they lose. Whereas like sports, if you don't know sports, it's hard to follow like a rugby movie or like a basketball movie or a football movie, because you got to know the rules, you got to be invested. Boxing's like, this guy's got to beat up this guy, go. And it's very clear who the villain and who the good guy is.
Yeah, but also I just don't like sports. All right. So I think that's the reason.
Screw my in-depth analysis and character study.
No, that is, I mean, for anyone who... But that's the thing too, is like I feel like if you like football and you like basketball, then you love these movies though. Like if you're a football guy, you love Any Given Sunday, but everyone else is like, fuck.
Any Given Sunday was pretty pretty divisive.
Yeah.
I would say like Friday Night Lights or Remember the Titans would be like
those
a
are two
universally
good
loved
examples.
like football movies.
Basketball, Hoosiers, right?
Hoosiers, Blue Chips, underrated basketball movie.
Never saw it.
It's a movie that stars Nick Nolte, like Shaq's in it. It's from like '93 or something like that.
Ooh, doggy.
And it's like about like the corruption in like college basketball. Like it's about this really like wholesome coach who's trying to win, but like his team suck, and so he ends up doing all these dirty-handed things to get great players, and then the consequences from that. It's really good.
Interesting.
But very underrated. Like a lot of people don't know about that movie. Coach Carter, that's a good one.
Oh, I never saw that one.
Sam Jackson, yeah, it's got a devastating scene that almost made me cry when I was a young person.
What about Mr. Woodcock?
With Billy Bob Thornton?
Yeah. Is that a good one?
No.
Like the guy that has no idea what good movies, what good sports movies are?
Yeah, no, that's not a good movie. Not in my opinion. Yeah.
Any Hoosier.
I'm a theater. Just fill people in. We're at Celebration Cinema in Grand Rapids, and one of the doors, all the doors say IMAX Theater on them.
Yeah.
One of the doors has an X missing on the IMAX, so it just says I am a theater.
It is so funny.
I looked at it, and I was just like, I'm a theater.
And every time Mike says it, he just loses his mind.
Oh,
he's
God,
loving every minute of it.
Loving every minute of it. All right.
I'm a theater.
Do it in the Chris voice.
I'm a theater. I got you right in the cockles.
I couldn't even say it. I couldn't
I
even
got
make
you
it up.
right in the ribs.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
Hey, I'm a theater.
We said before, Sylvester Stallone is like in a very good time in his career right now. That guy, that Rocky character has got to be one of my favorite characters of all time.
Oh, I was thinking about that.
He's evolved into such an interesting, complex, and deep character. He used to be like, I feel like in the first Rocky, he was pretty straight. Dumb guy, good at boxing, wants to get Adrian's love. That was kind of it. Now he's got he's wrestling with these demons of past mistakes he's made, his self-regret for not keeping in touch with his son, and all these things have built up over the movies. Like, you've gotten 7 movies now to build this character into this completely, fully fledged character who you haven't seen all the movies, but I've grown with. I've watched him grow.
I mean, you can infer the thing because all you're just seeing is someone towards the end of their life, but having dealt with all these things And God, it's really great to see him also be a good actor.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Act it out, like
it's
wow.
weird because I think
it blew me away.
I think he got nominated for Creed for Best Supporting Actor.
Really?
He did. And it's weird because like this is definitely
better,
Michael B.
right?
Jordan's movie.
Yeah.
But Sylvester Stallone, every scene he's in he steals the shit out of it.
Yeah.
It may help that he wrote the movie, so he probably wrote himself those great scenes, but still.
But it's all like all the lines that he's saying is like something that an old sage person would have to say.
Yeah, he's very wise.
And he's saying it in such a, I don't want to say dumbed down way, but in a way that is palatable for anybody to understand. It's these things that you can take with your regular life. You're driving a car, you think these things that Rocky Balboa said.
Yeah, I just want a little Rocky in my pocket.
I want a
little Rocky in my pocket.
Pocket Rocky.
Just a little pocket Rocky, that's all I need.
He just pops out. Hey, so you gotta put the left blinker on if you're turning left. Because sometimes you want to turn right, but you gotta remember, hey, you're going left.
It's like you're like.
Thank you, Pocket Rocky.
You're out to dinner and you're just like, man, do I want the soup or the salad? Hold on, hey Pocket Rocky, do I want the soup or salad? Well, you gotta ask yourself, if you get the soup, you're gonna feel warm and good inside about yourself. But the salad, see, that'll be healthy for you for the next 10 years, So you gotta think about these kind of things,
Also, you ate Olive Garden, so why don't you just order both?
Personally, I like to get the super salad. It's a little joke.
Right, that was a good one. Thank you, Pocket Rocky. Hey, you're welcome.
We should develop this app.
Pocket Rocky?
If we got any app developers that listen out there, develop Pocket Rocky for us. Just an app where you just press a button and Rocky gives you advice.
It's like Ask Jeeves, but it's not.
You type in a scenario and then Rocky gives you the appropriate advice for it.
Oh my God.
That's a really good app.
That's like my idea for Judy Chrisman. I wanted to have a Judy Chrisman podcast.
I love that idea.
Yeah, I'm still going to do that at some point. But, oh boy, this is fun. All right.
I feel like Tessa Thompson was a little underutilized.
But I don't agree.
I will say why in the spoiler section.
Okay.
I feel like she could have done more. I feel like the kid who played the
baby,
Victor Drago, really underutilized. Like that kid he didn't even barely said anything.
It's the same as Drago from the first one.
Yeah, but
you get that.
But Drago from the first one was not supposed to be he wasn't a fully fleshed out character. Mm-hmm. Or from the fourth one, he wasn't a fully fleshed out character. He was very much just like the obstacle for Rocky to overcome.
Yes.
Whereas it felt like they really wanted a relationship between Ivan and Victor, Ivan Drago and his son Victor, and it just seemed like they didn't give Victor enough to do. Ivan was great. Dolph Lundgren
really
was fantastic. But it just seemed like the kid didn't have as much to work with. They didn't give him a lot of stuff to do. He was menacing. He was a gigantic, hulking beast of a man.
But I think I think should we end this spoiler-free section? Because I think I have things that.
So yeah, all in all, I think it's a very good movie. But there's things I don't like about it, and we'll talk about that in spoiler.
And here we go.
Spoiler section.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. If you want to, there's some mild spoilers in this, mostly plot stuff.
It's a boxing movie.
Like I said, as usual, if you'd like to turn off the podcast, come back to it, download us, and then listen to us later, then please do that now, because we're going to spoil some stuff.
Okay, so I'm so excited. No, I think that the wonderful thing about this movie is that a lot of things are inferred, and you don't necessarily need the dialogue. What you need is facial expression, and whoever directed it, I can't remember who it was.
Steven
Soderbergh.
It'll be a totally different movie. Steven Soderbergh.
It was just a heist. Oh my God, Snake Eyes. If Steven Soderbergh directed this, it would be Snake Eyes. Even though Brian De Palma directed that, I'm pretty
Stephen
sure.
Capel Jr.
Anyway, so he did such a great job because he is getting performances out of people's faces.
There were a lot of great
face
performances.
It's a lot of inference and throwback to original and putting spins on those things, like the throwing the towel at the end.
Those iconic imagery from the fourth one.
It's iconic imagery, yeah. And it's
because Rocky throws in the towel after Creed's already dead.
Yeah. I thought it was phenomenal. All that stuff. I thought it was really, really good.
So I thought the thing that I think the movie suffered from, especially in the first two acts, was juggling a lot of subplots. It seemed like you had leading up to the third act, you had Creed trying to defeat Drago for the memory of his father. You had Rocky struggling with keeping in touch with his son. You had Creed and Bianca having a baby. You had Creed's kind of relationship with his mother. They touched on a little bit. And then you had the Drago father and son dynamic.
Yeah.
And then you also had Ivan Drago even had his own sub-story inside of that dynamic where he's trying to get his good graces back into Russia after failing the country. And then you've got the son who's just trying to please his father. And then you've got the dynamic between the two. So I just feel like there was a lot of things going on.
Yeah, you're saying all these things though, but when you say them, I'm just like, that was handled well. That was handled well. That was. But handled
I feel
well.
like a lot of
I feel like everything was juggled perfectly, and I really liked the pacing of this movie because it was like my brain, I don't think my brain has been so overactive in like a positive way during a movie. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like where I'm branching off into being like, oh, that means this. Like my brain is turning into Good Will Hunting while I'm watching it, but I'm still not missing anything.
It's not your fault.
Hey.
It's not your fault.
My wife's gonna fart.
It's not your fault.
Robin Williams said that in the movie, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, all right, cool. Elliott Smith. So, he was the soundtrack. So, the thing that I really liked about this movie is that I was able to think about all those things while not missing anything, and you're filling in the gaps, but also what things mean for certain characters in the movie, and I really like that. Like it was like it wasn't like a Mad Libs, that would be a bad movie, but it was like it was giving you the words but letting you ponder on it.
I just felt like
goodbye.
I agree with that, but I just felt like some of the stuff was unresolved is my only problem. Like, I mean,
what was unresolved?
The idea of like Creed, like the whole thing, the reason he lost the first fight is because he was fighting for the wrong thing, right? The idea is like he was fighting to like avenge his father's death, and but that's what. Spoiler alert, there's 2 fights in this movie, but
which was
3
great.
technically. But the first fight he loses because he's just out there trying to avenge his father. The second one, the idea is like he's fighting for family now because he has a daughter now, and so he's got something to fight for, and it's fighting for himself as opposed to fighting for somebody else. I guess is what they came to.
Yeah, I mean, he's always supposed to be fighting for himself, but I feel like the first fight he lost because he had fear of other people not accepting him for what he was trying to be, like that kind of thing. Where it was just like, okay, let's put it in stand-up comedy terms. If you go out and you set out to crush because you're like, I got to prove to these people that I'm fucking great, like that's ego. That's not good. That's arrogance.
Sure, yeah.
But if you go out to do it for yourself, to have fun, to do what you're good at, but not to prove yourself to anybody, I feel like that is what will make you have a good set, you know? And at the end, when he is doing the last fight and he's looking at everybody for reassurance, it's those people that matter to him that are giving him the reassurance that gives him the fire to keep going. Like after a set where you bomb, you have that person that can pick you up. During a set, you know that person's out there watching you perform, like, and you can look at your loved one. Like if I look at Jackie, like while I'm on, and I'm like, oh, she's loving this. I'm getting that fuel that I need. I'm crushing right now at max. Like that kind of thing. That's how I looked at it. And maybe that's the reason that it hit me more, because I put it into the stand-up mindset. But I fucking loved this movie. I really liked it.
Again, I'm not saying I didn't like the movie. Obviously, I really enjoyed it. I just, for me, this stuff didn't jive. Like the baby thing, like they were really worried about like the baby being deaf because like Bianca's deaf. And then, like, you find out the baby's death, and that's the end of it. Like, they don't address it ever again.
Well, like, you knew the moment she brought up, what if the baby's deaf? You're like, okay, well, I'm accepting that the baby's going to be deaf. But the characters aren't. And that's when Rocky comes in, and he's at the hospital, and he's saying, like, hey, is that okay? I don't want to think like that. It's like, you're still arrogant, you motherfucker.
But also
get out of this.
That brings me to another point I was going to get to is as much as I love Rocky as a character, I think he's fantastic. It is weird that he just kind of solves everybody's problems. But like, he just comes in and solves the problems.
But if you were older and someone looked up to you, wouldn't you be that same person for them?
But I mean, yeah. But I mean, the Creed Adonis is very arrogant in the movie.
Yeah.
Except for when he's talking to Rocky, because like he's like stubborn to the point where he's just like, well, I'm going to take this fight for my father, and then Rocky's like, well, maybe you shouldn't do it, and then like he's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway, and then all of a sudden. He loses the fight, obviously, and then when Rocky comes back, like he's pissed at him for whatever reason.
Because he wasn't there.
even though
because Rocky turned his back on him, and he felt that he's so important that Rocky should be there.
Right, but then when he wants to fight Drago the second time, well, before he says he wants to fight the second time, but when we're about to get to the point where he fights him the second time, then Rocky comes back in the picture because he's like distant from everybody. Like Bianca complains about him like seeing like he doesn't love anything, he doesn't care about anything, and then Rocky shows up and talks to him for 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden he's totally fine again.
Well, it's because he knows that this is what you needed. You needed to be knocked down and humbled, so now you can come back and win it. And you're gonna need all that fire in your gut and heart.
You got that fire in your gut.
You're gonna get fire in your gut and a dick in your balls, you know. And
how do you get it in there?
I don't care. But
you gotta put your balls in the ass.
I think this was. I mean, I don't know how I'll feel tomorrow, but I think this was masterfully done and handled, and I actually loved the idea that there were so many things being juggled.
All right, well,
I really, I thought it was really well done.
Well, I will say, you haven't seen the first one. The boxing scenes were better in the first one.
Interesting. Okay.
Which I think I forgot who the director. I want to say Ryan Coogler was the director of the first one, so that probably explains why. But there's one scene in the first one where it was a full round and it was a one take. And so, like, that was just like, and like every kind of boxing scene was pretty inventive like that. Whereas the boxing scenes,
exciting.
The boxing scenes in this one were fine. They weren't bad, that's for sure. They were really good, but they just seemed like every other boxing movie I've ever watched.
Yeah.
But having said that, the third fight of the film, where Creed faces Drago for the second time,
so good,
was riveting. I mean,
so
absolutely
good.
Riveting. And then you've got like the subplot of all these men with daddy issues, essentially, what this movie's about.
By the way, when are people going to start talking about boxing movies and how that's toxic masculinity? Do you know what I mean? Everyone always goes on about how, like, the action movie, the guy shooting the guy, like the James Bond, that's toxic masculinity. Well, where are you on the boxing movie? Well, those are good movies.
It's about family.
It's about family. It's like, no. I mean, technically, we have two people beating the fuck out of each other. Like, of course, that is the definition of what you're talking about. Well, let's just have a woman be an MMA fighter. It's Ronda Rousey, she'd kick ass. And it's like, she's trying to be masculine, so it's also toxic? I don't know, fuck me running.
I just feel like...
Sorry, I read Tumblr too much.
I feel like there's a lot of scenes where, like, you were touched on it earlier about the acting with your eyes in that movie.
Yeah.
And that fight is a huge, like, just a showcase of great eye acting.
Oh,
like, every time, that's where I will say the kid was good. Every time Victor and Ivan would look at each other, you could tell exactly what they were thinking.
Yeah.
And, like, the whole idea is, like, Victor doesn't care about this fight. He just cares about pleasing his father.
I thought that during the second fight, because earlier Rocky had said he doesn't have anything to lose. You have everything to lose, right?
Yeah.
So...
Talking to Creed.
Yeah, so basically they're gearing up for the fight, and then Victor's just like, whatever the fuck, it's just another fight.
Yeah, he just wants to make his dad happy.
That's the reason that his head wasn't in it.
His head was in it. I just think he just got outboxed.
Oh, his head wasn't in it at all.
In the second match?
The first match.
Oh, yeah.
The second fight in the movie, but the first match between the two.
Okay, yeah.
His head wasn't in it at all. And I think that's the reason that he lost. And Victor's head didn't even have to be in it. He's always just a crazy person. And the moment that he starts putting his head into it, that's when he loses.
Yeah.
Because he's not being a machine. He's literally thinking, what's my dad thinking? Oh, my Amazonian David Bowie, Brigitte Nielsen mom is in the back. And then she leaves and boo-hoo. Like, it's such a wonderfully it's literally like the dominoes as they fall.
Yeah, it was a masterclass on how to shoot a boxing scene.
Yes.
Just from the standpoint of characters.
But that's why you need all those things juggled throughout the movie, because when you get to that third act, all these things that are happening are bang, boom, bang, bang, and you're firing these synapses in your head that are like, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense, and it all makes sense immediately to you. I think that's the reason that all these things need to be juggled.
Well, I think so in the first Creed, there was really only Bianca and Adonis's relationship, and then Adonis's relationship with Rocky, and that was it. Like, as far as plots. So I think I'm comparing it too much to the first movie.
I think you are too, because.
But I mean, the first, you got to see the first one. The first
I would
one
love
is
to.
Really good. And it was a lot more intimate story. It was a smaller story. It's a sequel, so obviously bigger scale.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, just one of those plots come out, and I think I've got a perfect film.
Which one would you take out? How would you change it?
I think I would take out the baby. because it all seemed real quick. Like, he proposed to her, then they were having a baby, like, instantly, and then they had the baby, and then, like, then this fight came up.
But such is life.
Did I press something?
You did. You stopped it. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's happening. Well, our thing is playing in the background. And we're back! That was very weird.
All right. But yeah,
you were saying, take out the baby.
Yeah, take out the baby.
Throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Throw out the baby with their bathwater. But no, I just think that I don't think it was a needed subplot. Like, we didn't need that to be invested in. We didn't need that to believe that Creed needed a good reason to fight. Because like the idea is like he has a family now, so like that's the reason he's fighting for his family.
You have a daughter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm kidding. Was it like unexpected?
No. It just didn't. It's not that it didn't. It's not that it hurt the plot.
Yeah.
But I think it would have improved it or to take it out for me.
Interesting.
Just because I don't think you need that motivation. He doesn't need that extra motivation. He has it already. Like, he proposed to Bianca. He's now like an engaged woman of his life. She means the world to him. In the first movie, they were just dating. So, I mean, he wasn't like fighting, oh my God, I'll be with her forever, I'm going to fight for her. Now it's like he's engaged to her, he's committed to her, he's made it clear to her that she's the most important thing. So that's the reason he wants to fight. Like, that should be, like, he doesn't need the baby now. Because, I mean, I know the baby is just a plot device of like, well, you've got a kid now, so now you've got to not make the same mistakes that I made.
For
and
sure.
That's your motivation. And like I said, it doesn't hurt the movie that it's in it, but I think it could have made the movie, for me, a little more perfect if it wasn't there.
Interesting.
That's it. I mean, let's just continue to talk about how great the movie is now. Because... Okay, what's up? What's up?
No, I just think that, like, I didn't have that moment of being like, ugh, Jesus Christ, a kid. Now,
yeah.
Whoa.
Well, I didn't have that moment either. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I haven't fucking... Like, it wasn't I was thinking that. It just, if I were to think about things to take out to maybe streamline the first two acts, it would be that.
Interesting.
Because it bounced around a lot for me.
Well, I think that's the reason that it didn't hit me that way, is because I don't think this movie bounced around too much. I really feel like it was balanced well, and I feel like the pacing was great. Like, I wasn't looking at this movie being like, when are they going to fight? When are they going to fight? It was just like, for me, it was like that was the background of it, and everything else took the foreground. Like, the family and the relationships and everything like that. Like, what was the movie we just saw about...
Widows?
Yeah, it wasn't about the heist. It was about how everyone else is interacting with each other. Yeah. That's why it was so fascinating. And then all the twists and turns that happened in that movie. Yeah. I mean, this movie had that as well, and that was the most exciting point for me. Other than the third act, because the whole movie is building up to that last fight, we know. But to get there along the way, you have to have all these people interacting with each other. And that's why it was really interesting to me.
Also, let's wrap this up, damn. Also, I touched on this with you before we started the podcast, but the Rocky franchise has perfectly utilized the Rocky theme song.
Yes.
Like, they know how to hold it until the last possible second.
Yep.
And then right when you think, because I mean, when you watch these movies, it's a known fact that the main character doesn't have to win the fight in the end of a Rocky movie. There's been 3 films where the main character hasn't won in the end.
Yep.
The first Creed, Adonis lost at the end. The first Rocky.
Spoiler.
Oh shit! I forgot.
You douchebag!
I forgot you haven't seen it.
Oh my God! I would assume that though, because
they said at the beginning of this one that he lost.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, right at the beginning when they were talking about how he lost his first match and then won 6 straight matches, and then you look at his record, it's 23-1.
I didn't see that.
Oh.
I was.
So the spoiler was in the movie.
Well, I feel like the first, like, I didn't know she was deaf until, like, I thought those were like Apple, AirPods. I had no idea what was in her ear, and then like as it went on, I was like, oh, she's deaf. Okay, I got it.
So going to that fight, I'm like, he could lose this fight. Like, no one says it's not written in stone that he's going to win this fight.
Yeah.
So when he is like, starting to look like he might not win the fight, and then once the tides are turning, then all of a sudden, and I did my thing that Gerrit's gotten used to, I'm sure by now, where I elbowed the shit out of him.
Yeah, you broke my ribs just like Adonis did.
He did. But yeah, some of those hits were pretty visceral too. The way they shot some of those punches.
I leaped out of my chair a couple times during the movie. Every time.
Drago broke Creed's ribs in the first fight. So then the second fight, every time you see him get hit in those ribs, and like it, oof, ugh.
Oh man, and just the sound, oh God.
At any rate, we gotta wrap this one up. We're coming up in an hour.
Oh man, we are. Really quick though, you said to me, remind me about this.
Thank you.
What is this song?
So that was for the first fight. For the first time he fights Creed, Creed fights Drago. Drago comes out to no music, no fanfare, much like in a Rocky IV. And also, that was the biggest parallel, I think, because I told you it was going to be, I didn't want it to be a carbon copy of Rocky IV. Mm-hmm. That was the only carbon copy-ish part, because like in Rocky IV, when Drago fights Apollo Creed, Drago just walks out, and he just comes out in the ring, and then Apollo Creed has this huge dance number on top of a stage with like Vegas showgirls and James Brown singing in front of him. And, like the whole idea is like, you know, Apollo Creed's this brash, like arrogant American, and then Drago's like, it'll break you.
I go fight.
So Adonis comes out, and his entrance music is a song called Icon by Jaden Smith. And the song Icon is about how Jaden Smith has taken over as the icon in his father's absence.
Oh, Jesus. That's right. Well, Jaden Smith is a fucking moron.
But I just think it's funny that like that Adonis Creed uses that theme song to come out to fight Victor Drago.
Okay, I will say this about the movie. The one thing that I did not like, but this is just how it is with sports, another reason I don't like sports, the commentators are saying all of the explaining the movie.
All the backstory?
Yeah.
It's
not even the backstory. It's just like at the end where it's like, he's creating his own legacy, and it's like, oh my God. You guys are too on the nose.
People do say that in sports, not to that extent. They were pretty extreme in the movie. Like,
yeah.
Like you'll
but
hear.
But wouldn't they, though, if it was exactly the same situation?
They'll say things like that. Like, I remember one time, it's like there's a lot of times when like commentators will be like, this is a moment people remember forever, or this is a legendary moment, this is history in the making. They'll say things like that all the time. Yeah. But I mean, like, to the extent that like Max Kellerman, who is like a very famous boxing commentator, the extent that he was doing it was a bit much.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, he's now cemented his legacy, and he's out of his father's shadow. I sure hope they get better test results for their deaf baby. Like, it's like, we all know this stuff. Like, you don't need to tell us. So Gerrit, finally, we've come to the end of probably our longest episode ever.
Yeah.
Rate this bitch.
I am going to give it 9.
9? All right.
It really hit me in the feels.
I
was so excited.
I almost cried at the end of that movie.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I was very excited to see Milo Ventimiglia show up again. Love that guy. That's his son in the movie. He was in Rocky Balboa.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he was also in Heroes as Peter.
I never watched Heroes.
What was his name?
Peter Cushing.
No. Peter Capaldi. No, it was...
Peter Pumpkin Eater.
Peter Pan. No, I can't remember his name, but he was the superhero that could like absorb other people's powers.
Yeah, I never watched Heroes.
Heroes was great. Season 1 is great.
Yeah, I've heard
season 2
fantastic.
is underrated. There was this writer's strike. Everyone hated season 2.
Everyone hates every season that came out the year of the writer's strike.
Season 3 is not the best, and season 4 is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Not the best.
Around. It's definitely the worst if you watch it now.
Definitely the worst if you watch it now. All right.
There we go. I give it a 9. I give it a 9. Touch your gloves.
All right.
I give it a 9 touch gloves out of 10.
You know what's funny too is the touch glove scene in Rocky IV is the first time you ever see Apollo Creed doubt himself. They come out, Drago stands there and he's very intimidating. Yeah. And Apollo's like dancing and he's smiling and looking up at Drago while the referee's giving the instructions. And then they're like, touch gloves, come out swinging. And then Ivan puts his gloves up and then Creed goes to like smash his hands down and Ivan's gloves do not move. And then you just see Creed's face go like this. Like, he's like, no, and then he dies.
Wow.
All right, I'm gonna give this movie. I'm gonna go with an 8.5.
Really?
8.5. I think I'm hampered from seeing the first Creed, honestly.
Well, you gave it originally a 7.5.
Yeah. But I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I think it was a really, really good movie.
Well, I'll watch the first Creed and we'll see.
All right. I'm gonna give it 8.5. 8.5 out of 10.
Wow.
Or yo. That's it.
That's good.
Yeah, thanks for listening to the episode, you guys.
Follow us on social media, all that good stuff.
Twitter at TBBG Podcast. Like our fan page on Facebook. Like, subscribe, download, review, share.
You guys know what to do, even though none of you do it.
All that good stuff. Also, go out and see a movie this week while you're at it, huh?
Yeah, go see a movie. Go watch the Captain Marvel trailer 4 times, then hate it as much as me. That movie looks like shit.
Okay, bye.
My name's Gerrit Elzinga.
Hi, I'm Mike Logan, and that was great.
Good. Oh, we're doing that? All right.
My name's Mike Logan.
My name's Gerrit Elzinga.
And that was great.
Fuck a doodle dandy.
not gonna fight your war. I'm gonna end it.